individual pie made sweet. The cheese, you see the glaze on it is with honey rather than with eggs. So it's got this cheese and honey taste. And these are typical breakfast foods, really. Toast today. Yes. You've got a big thing that is more typical. And they say, and Arena's doing it, consists of 3 things. And one of them is that round bread with the seeds on it that we call a kuluri. I don't know if you've seen it, they don't have them here, but you can buy them in the street for 50 cents. So that's the first thing. But what are the other 2 things that constitute breakfast in Greece? And I will give you a clue. Neither of them are food. Can you guess what they are? Philo or philo? So this is a Greek word actually, and it comes from a word philo, which means leaf. So we call it leaf pastry. Yes. So thin. Yes. And the guy who served us, cute, isn't he? Sorry to say that, but very cute. Sorry, Russell.
Had beautiful eyes.
Oh my goodness. So every day, I'm a little disappointed I couldn't show you today because he makes the phyllo pastry and he's spinning it out thinner and thinner and thinner, and then he sticks it all together. And if always at this time of year, it's because summer's coming. We will collect up all our rugs and carpets from the house, roll them up and keep them in mothballs. We don't. We have, there are companies that take olive trees, about 300 years old, which is nothing. The oldest olive tree in the world is in Crete, and it's 3,000 years old. They believe it to be the oldest. And this oil comes directly from the farmer. Have you ever done an olive oil tasting before?
A little bit.
Okay, well, how did you do that? Do you remember?
It was little cups.
Bang on, that's the right way. But did I explain to you why you should taste it?
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. It's a little bit there, guys. Help yourselves if you want it. Why you should always drink it. Or at least have it neat, never with bread. After you bought it, with bread is life's pleasures, but not before you buy it. So, Laconia, the best oil, just voted for the 33rd time the best oil because of those valleys. And this is EVU, or extra virgin olive oil. And let me ask you, do you know what differentiates it to be? So that's 2 of them. First crop, cold pressed, and secondly, now hold it in your mouth. Put it all in your mouth, Russell. And for you as well. Now hold it in the back of your mouth 3 seconds. Got it? Right. Swallow it.
Oh yeah.
Are you getting something here?
Yes. And I got some through my nasal passages too, my nose.
That's what you're looking for. For you, you get a little something here. Very mild.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. First crop of olives off the tree. Always green. Always green. So if you're anywhere in the Mediterranean, that first crop of olives is always going to be 1st or 2nd week of November. Secondly, cold pressed. What that means, squashed, but squashed without any heat. So not electrically. So what they do, if it's sort of not a very wealthy farm, they put them on a stone, a huge stone slab, and they lower another stone slab on top of it, and there's a handle in this one, and they turn it, and it makes this motion, and it squashes them. Then they take all this gook, all this mess, if you like, and they put it into a machine, which they turn a handle, and it spins them, and it spins it so fast. The oil is literally thrown out of the olives. All oil has got acid in it, all oil. And this is the acid hitting your pain receptors, and that's why it's different for both of you, because your bodies are different, of course. And actually, all oil, as I say, has acid in it. Non-extra virgin can legally go to 2% of acid, but extra virgin olive oil can only be a maximum of 0.8% of acid, a lot lower. And this one, because it's so good, is only about 0.3%, and you will never get lower than 0.3%. And you drink it to see how strong this is. Why? Because 75% of the world's olive oil is not pure, it's mixed. And I don't know if you know that, you've heard about this. So if I buy this can here in Athens, it's 100% extra virgin. If we export it over to you or anywhere in Europe, it can legally be the same can and only 30% extra virgin olive oil. Can you believe? And do you know what the other 70% is? Anything. Hang on, it's called the Kalamata olive, and Kalamata is a place in the south of Greece, and like most of Greece, it's known for specific foods, and it's known for olive. Try them. Oh, when Russell's take these pictures, it's known for olives and all things olive based, if you like oil. It's known for figs and oranges. And they say that the Kalamata olive is the healthiest in the world because it reduces bad cholesterol and replaces with good cholesterol. It actually is about an hour away from Thessaloniki in the north. And actually, if you look at the map, right at the top, we have something that looks like this. And we call it the three fingers of Halkidiki. And these come from the first finger, and it's called Athos. And Athos is very famous for something. Have you heard of Athos? Well, it's famous because it's written in the New Testament that the Virgin Mary was traveling to Cyprus, but she got blown off course and ended up in Athos. And then and now, only one type of person lived in Athos, and that's monks. And the monks were very excited that Mary was there. And on that day, they made a declaration. And they said, from this day onwards, no other woman will be allowed to enter Athos. It belongs only to Mary. And from that day onwards, I think it's one of 4 places in the world where women are completely forbidden. This one you may not like, to be honest with you. This is called the Argos olive, and Argos is also in the south, about 4 hours away from here. Known for, Argos is one of the most ancient cities in the world, and it's full of ancient relics, but it's also known for, it's within an area called Nemea, and Nemea is about wine. That's where the wine comes from. So this one, we sometimes call it the plum olive because of the way it looks, as you can see. And a lot of people don't like that olive. I usually take all the vacuum seals home to my family because they will run off the stick. This honey is with thyme, the herb thyme. Is it good? Also made by Mr. Yorgos. Sorry, my friend, a bit sticky, I'm sorry. And thyme is the one that you are more likely to get with the Greek yogurt. When you have Greek yogurt and it's smothered. She'll try some Greek yogurt today if you would like. If you haven't had it, let's go for it. Crete is where the amazing food. We have wonderful food. Crete is up another level. It's almost self-sufficient, you know, everything comes from Crete. Whereas we'll have a lot of things here that have been brought over from Crete. Because, you know, it's the warmest spot in Europe during the winter, so they get everything earlier than we get it. So now we'll get cherries soon, and for sure they'll come from Crete because that's where they start first. And they stay in here, believe it or not, for 6 months. 6 months. They change the fluid all the time, and then after that they go in here. These are not olives; these are capers, giant capers with water, and they stay in there for another 2 months. So from picking an olive to eating it is 8 months, believe it or not. And something I find interesting is nobody knows how they discovered you could eat an olive. All we know is it was either the Israelis or the Moroccans that discovered it. But how they discovered it, they didn't record it. So we don't know. In a little while we're going to go into a spice shop and we can smell them and taste them. You can buy some if you want. But it's a good opportunity for me to point this out to you. And this is our #1 herb in this country. Have you got any idea what our biggest herb is? Hang on. Oregano, exactly. Or as we call it, rigani. And I'm going to tell you more about rigani in a little while. And also I'm going to tell you about this beautiful thing. This is called, in Greek, it would be called chai vono, mountain tea. And I'm going to tell you about this, and I'm going to tell you why our doctors tell us to drink a cup of this every single day. There's a very, very clear medical reason for this. So we're going to discuss that in a little while. So now,
in the ocean.
No, that is what a lot of people think, but actually they are part of a vine. They grow on a vine, and they are a member of the zucchini family. So this is 100% natural, and it is just an oversized pumpkin, believe it or not. And how they get it to go like this, I mean, when it's small, it's edible. We don't eat too many of them, but Asian countries, they eat them. We grow them till they're bigger, and they just pick them and put them into a dark place, a dark room for 10 days, peel them, and they've naturally gone like this, believe it or not. And they shake them and all the seeds come out, but if you look here, as they dry out more, the seeds continue to fall out. They've all got little seeds in them. Look at that one. Loads of seeds in it.
And they do look exactly like pumpkin seeds.
Yes, and they even have the little orange, what we call lukumi. And here, I love this. Any idea what this is?
Olive oil soap.
No, these are all olive oil soaps. This is natural beeswax.
Oh.
Amazing. And people, you do it. You can polish your furniture. Right, let's see. Calimera. Okay, practice.
That one, yes.
Bravo. Hola? Πώς κάνει όλα?
Όλα.
Ναι.
7,70.
Εντάξει.
Perfect.
Ευχαριστώ.
Welcome back again.
Thank you.
What are you sis?
Not here for long. Back into it. So these are real. They're a mixture of real and not real.
Ναι.
This is real. This is pastoma. Oh yeah, here. This is pastoma from beef.
Ναι.
Yes, from beef, but originally this would have been from camel meat. And we still have camel. It's the fatty one normally.
No, no, this one. This one.
Oh, sorry. That one. This is camel. This is the original.
This is camel and this is beef.
Yes. No. He asked me that, so and I
This is
didn't
the
know
one
the
in
answer.
Australia. The
Yeah.
other one in Africa, they have two.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the one hum. I don't know what it's called. Someone did tell me, but
Kabura to λέμε στα ελληνικά. I don't know in English how
oh
it is.
no.
Dromedary.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, there you go.
And the
Dromedary.
two hump is Bactrian.
There you go. Dromedary. That's what I've been told. Yeah.
They bring babies,
Oh,
yes.
my goodness,
Yes,
wow.
they die in the cold.
Oh,
And the
jeez.
snow. Yes, I remember we was not inside in Chicago, we was outside of Chicago. It calls the place, I forgot the names, Pine Grove,
Yes.
one place, and Little Down. And that was we living there.
Due to go.
Much nicer.
Yeah, I'm sure. We were due to go. I was pastry shop. This is a sheep's milk cheese, sheep's milk, and it's called Kasseri. And Kasseri you can get everywhere, but this one is very special because it's made in Thessaloniki by one man who's in his 90s. And he can't find anybody to replace him, so he keeps working.
Excellent.
And he ages this for 1 year, one whole year in an oak barrel. And then he drives it down just to this shop to buy. So it's very special. And it goes really nicely with this salami, which is Greece's most favorite salami. Which is why I give this. My husband gives the camel meat, but I give this because everyone likes this. And this is called salami lefkada. It comes from the island Lefkada, logical. And it is pork with aromatic garlic and wild peppercorns. And like I say, the two together, the salami itself is the favorite, the biggest selling across Greece, and the cheese Kasseri, very special because it's made by hand in such a unique way.
Excellent.
Please take
Excellent.
some more. It's good together.
It is.
Very good together. If
Very
you like
tasty.
to eat this kind of food with a red wine or something, they have this place and it's their restaurant. It's called Karamelivika. It's a very, very high quality, very, very good place to come and eat because you got one more night here. Gotta
That's
make
it,
it count.
tonight.
Yeah. Have you got plans?
We talked about it, but we didn't nail it down. There's a great little place around the corner from us.
Europe's #1 bean eating country.
Oh.
I don't know who that's relevant to, but one day in Trivial Pursuit, you might
Yeah.
remember me. So we eat many different types of beans, and even though we're recognized as a meat-eating country, it's very easy to be vegetarian here. Somewhat more difficult to be vegan, I would say, because we have a lot of cheese and a lot of dairy in our Iceland, actually.
I would imagine.
Yes. Sorry, let me pick that up. And we have a tradition to eat this, particularly on what we call Clean Monday. Clean Monday is the first day of Lent. At least it's that 40 days up until Easter, which we've just had. So, and that 40 days, on the first day we eat this, and then from then on, a lot of people give up meat altogether for the 40 days, and then they break their fast with that lamb and kokorezi that we talked about. We also eat it on our Independence Day. In March, we have Independence Day, and everybody eats salted cod, and they think it's affiliated with Independence Day, but it goes beyond that, and it's the day also of the Virgin Mary. And traditionally people would eat cod on that day, and it would be salted because we didn't have refrigeration, so people wanted to, if they didn't live by the sea, they still wanted to eat cods. These come only from Crete. You'll see here, this sign says Kritis. That's how we would say Crete. So we have only in Crete we have these snail farms. And if you ever go to France, there is they say there's an 80% chance if you're eating escargot, you're eating Greek snails, because we export them to France. And it depends on the size of the egg. So actually, if I buy 10 here, it's $2.30. But if I buy 10 eggs in the supermarket, it's $4.50. About the country you're in, and tell me, can you guess what's in it? It's feta cheese. Feta cheese.
Really?
So with feta, you know, you don't have to. And while it's in there, it goes so solid. The only way to get it out, they don't want to break the barrel because it gets better every time they use it. So they take a long thin knife and they slice it inside the barrel and put it out. And that's why they call it feta. The word feta in Greek is slice. So it's called slice. I expected to see them today, but... Tikanis. And let's move up everywhere on the trees. You could just pick them from the trees. Very short season now.
What does it taste like? What kind of... It's not, it looks almost like a different lemon or something, but
no,
it's not.
It's more like, it's very juicy, like papaya-ish almost, something more like that.
I see.
Yeah, and not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not so keen. So that's the most of the avocados come from Crete. And when we've explored the markets, we're going to walk down the other side of the market. We'll pick up some strawberries. And you'll see these gentlemen are here every single day. And don't dismiss this, because they're getting together for a coffee. This coffee lasts maybe 2 or 3 hours every day. It's singularly the most important part of Greek culture. These guys, they will give up anything before they give up their coffee. And you know, they sit here for a long time. They don't arrange to see each other. They just sit down and a friend will arrive, one will go, one will arrive, and they have a name for this. They say that because the men sit every day and they talk about everything, maybe unlike more westernized men, I don't like to make assumptions, but a little repressed with the emotions, not the Mediterraneans, everything's out there, the hands are going, they're complaining, and they call this Greek psychology. And they say that because they meet every day, they don't need to see a therapist. This is their therapy, right here. So that's what's going on as we look at it. Some of them will have this gentleman has. Yes, Rivera, Ticanis. Look at that. No, it's okay. No. Oh, I haven't seen everyone for a long time. They're asking about my sister. Yeah, some friends, a lot of friends up here. Now, see these gentlemen? They both have a little row of beads.
I do.
And this is called a komboloi, and every man has a komboloi. Not so much the women. And you'll see these guys are holding it, but they'll run them through their hands. They're kind of getting the feel of them, or they drape them over these fingers and they flick them like this. And this is not a religious thing. This is just for relaxation. His football team lost. Now, guys, Greek coffee. This is Greek coffee. I need to tell you, it is always without milk. Yes.
The way I like it.
But you can have sugar. That's the good news. So, tell me, would you like sugar in it? For you? Sort of a medium sugar. Okay, let's see what he does. This little copper pot is called a bricky. It has a long handle so you don't burn yourself while you're cooking it. And you're going to see in a second, this is room temperature water. Oh, excuse me. Room temperature water. For you, the sugar's going to go in now, never after it's made. I will explain why. So, a spoonful of sugar, and check out the coffee. Can you see? Here's the coffee beans. better. Here's the coffee beans underneath. See how finely ground it is. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. So 1 shot of freshly ground coffee. And guys, let's move around here. I want to show you what they do next with the brick. This is volcanic sand. And just like the volcanic rock we saw comes from Santorini. And they must use volcanic sand because that really contains the heat. It holds it around the bricky. Non-volcanic would spread the heat out and we'd be here for a lot longer. So this is heated to 220 degrees, which is the optimum heat to cook a coffee. And even though we call it boiled coffee, the Greeks will often order boiled coffee, it must never boil. If it boils, it's burned. So Nikos's real skill here is to take it off the heat at exactly the right moment, and that will be as it starts to simmer, only simmer, and then it's done. However, if he was at home and like your dad, a real coffee connoisseur, he would actually let it simmer 3 times, so on, off, on, off. You can see he doesn't have the time to do this. It's crazy today. Oh, it's crazy, Jen.
Darn tourists.
To simmer, he's going to take it off the heat. Now, originally, this would have been called Turkish coffee, of course, and that's because. Move out, move in a little bit, guys. So usually, I'm sorry. Usually, the one with the sugar cooks a little bit faster, than the one without. So we'll see. It is crazy, but it is a very genuine. It's very, very hot. So be careful. Too busy today.
A lot of tour guides.
Yes, we are a nuisance.
Nuisance.
A nuisance. Sesame, tahini, and honey, a little chocolate or nuts, whatever they're flavoring it with, stuck together with the honey and lightly baked. And we eat it really only in the winter months. We'll stop soon because sesame, it's like central heating inside. Bravo. And you'll get too warm if you eat sesame in the summer. Sorry, you have to be a bit of an octopus at this stage.
Oh,
So tell me how
I can multitask.
Well, I don't know about any man can really do that, but I'm not going to go there. I'm sure you can. How is it's because there is a rule in this market that says all of the meat must come from Greece. And behind of this blue stamp is a paper trail. And maybe 3 or 4 times a week, the inspectors are coming in and they're spot checking where that meat comes from. And if they can't get clear proof that it's Greek, it's destroyed. Well, it's destroyed, who knows, in the freezer. And these guys, they'll take a hefty fine. So we're pretty sure all of this is from Greece. This guy's mincing up meat, and you see here, you choose your piece. There's no pre-ground mince here. Just to be sure what you're getting, because the Greeks, they like to know exactly what they're getting. It's nothing to do with not eating testicles or whatever, because you've got to see all of that. You know, we have a purpose for all of this. This is our most common bird that we eat. Any ideas what this is?
It's like chicken, but
Kind of. This is chicken, but actually this is rooster. So we eat more rooster than we eat chicken, and it's yellow because it must eat corn. If it doesn't eat corn, it's dry as our old hat, honestly. So they turn yellow. These are chicken hearts, and we make a soup with chicken hearts we call margaritza. And actually everyone ate this soup on Easter Sunday, the day we break our fast of not eating any meat. The first thing we eat is this soup because it's quite delicate on the stomach when you haven't eaten meat for some time. Here you see. Right, this is babunya. Babunya only in the Mediterranean. Babunya.